All right, so we're here to see what Citlali can do as a damage dealer. So yeah, let's go. I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting any longer. Let's go. I want to see. I'll show my build in a minute. It's gonna be a surprise for everyone. All right, so first, the way that we're gonna start this is just a normal rotation, right? This is just if I wanted her to be a support, how good can she be as just a pure damage dealer? All right, well, she didn't crit, of course. Yeah, sure. And it is important to note, my Mavuika is on an HP Sans, so do not get too upset about how much she's able to do here. And looking at the energy, oh god, I fear I have made a mistake, and I need to switch my build. Alright, so here is my build, basically. So we're at 689 Elemental Mastery, not a lot. I'm using Sacrificial Fragments, not really the greatest whatsoever, but I figured it'd be better than anything else that I have. You know, maybe I could go ahead and get some crit rate and stuff, but yeah, not really much else to do in terms of damage. I don't have, like, EM weapons, right? Obviously, her signature would be a lot better. Now, I did go ahead and take Mavuika's, you know, artifact, but apparently that doesn't matter. So we're going to go ahead and actually give Mavuika that back. Let's go ahead. So definitely, if you want this to be somewhat usable, you're going to have to go with energy recharge on this. Yeah, we're definitely going to need energy recharge on this. So I'll be right back after I raise an energy recharge Sans real quick. Okay, so here is the new build. We have 80% crit rate here, 200% crit damage, and then 169 energy recharge. Still not great, if I'm being honest. I'd prefer to be able to have it a little more, although we do have the ability to go ahead and, you know, like, use this stuff. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's do all this. All right, let's go. All right, so let's go ahead, grab that. We can also hit that 180,000. That's not a lot, if I'm being honest. And then, of course, Mavuika's not. Hello? Did I mess up something? Oh, why do you have this? Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. I'll fix that later. So 180,000 isn't actually a lot at all, honestly. Like, I really feel like 180,000, not really great. And I find it hard to believe that I might be able to get more damage out of her had I switched her to an EM, you know, circlet, as suggested, because people do suggest that for her. I don't know. I've seen people do a lot of damage to Citlali, but, you know, this is just the generic team that you run her in because she is a support overall. Really, I'm just trying to, like, see how much damage can you get. So that was 50,000. I mean, that's not a lot, if we're being honest. I mean, it's just not a lot. And one thing about Sacrificial Fragments is that it's not really that great to, like, use in, like, a rotation. Like, we should be able to do this pretty easily. Let me go ahead. We're going to try this again. I just want to see, you know, maybe, you know, I messed up a little. So let's go ahead. E-skill on you. Q, E. Let's EQ. All right. 180,000. I mean, we saw that very, very clearly. I mean, we're not really gaining enough damage for me to want to switch to this kind of setup because previously I'd be using instructors on Citlali, and I mean, well, it's kind of unfair to say because Mavuika is using this, like, flower instead, but you know, normally I'd be doing like 1.4 million on my Mavuika, which it's not enough to, like, warrant this 180,000 damage, right? Like, that's not great, if I'm being honest. And especially when you look at the difference between what Citlali was doing before and then what Citlali is doing now. She was doing about 50,000 with the instructor set on a crit, which she didn't have that much crit rate, but to be fair, it's not really like this is an insane amount of damage leap either. And I get that I don't have, like, a lot of elemental mastery, like, my build isn't perfectly optimized for her, but honestly, yeah, I'll be honest, I just don't really see a reason for this. I mean, I even leveled up her burst, and I was about to level it to 9, but then I was like, maybe not. I think her value really is just from her cry application, and I don't think that she's about to do a lot of damage. One thing I will say, though, is through all the guides, and I mean, it kind of makes sense now that I'm looking at it in the face, but, like, nobody has a guide for, like, DPS build. Like, nobody. I can't find a single thing. Now, What if I did cryo damage bonus instead of elemental mastery here, like, you know, I was suggested to do? What if I didn't? Because, like, gonna be honest, don't really care about a shield. It's not really a priority for me. Let's go ahead, let's grab some extra energy recharge, and let's see what we can do with, you know, 65 elemental mastery purely off of the timepieces sat. Yeah, that's not really great. Yeah, let's go ahead. We have now, our build is looking, oh, 144. Wow, that is a lot worse. Is it really? So we're only at 144. 190 energy recharge, though, is very, very nice. So let's see. I just don't necessarily know if I can be confident in this, I'll say. Like, I really don't see this going anywhere beyond just like, oh, it's not really that great. Because it's just not really that great, I'm being honest. Let's go ahead. EQ. New build does recover energy. I honestly didn't see the damage there, if I'm being honest. I did not see Citlali's damage. I know I had so much crit damage now. It's because I had C2 Shielding active, so yeah, that is why. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right. So what does this do? 188. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't say much about that. Like, that's not really, I don't know. Now, obviously, I can Giga Charge her, which I think is what we're going to go ahead and we're going to do. Instead of, you know, Bennett being here, right, and he's doing his stuff, right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add Sucrose. Now, Sucrose is going to be a tough sell, if I'm being honest. Do I even have her built? So she's level 70. Do I have her built enough to where she has 300 EM? And another thing is she's kind of cannibalizing Sucrose's artifacts, but I guess I'll give Sucrose this, and then we can go ahead and give her some artifacts. So my Sucrose now sits at 862 here. I think the way that we're going to do this rotation is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a Citlali normal attack here, and we're going to not use this. So we're interacting with that. We're going to E-skill with this. We're just going to keep the cryo, and then let's grab that. Can you swirl it? Yeah, I think she swirled it. This is tough. I don't know how to necessarily do this. I'm not really an aficionado on this. There is the chance that Citlali is better off with just like this, right? Maybe. Nah, I don't think so, because I mean, you have like the base attack matters a lot less than the elemental mastery here. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's probably gonna end up like this, unless it's crit damage like this. Okay, this is going to be tough to do. All right, so we're going to do a normal attack. We're going to do this, and then we're going to go ahead. We're going to swirl with that, right? And then we're going to go ahead and, like, do this, I guess. And we can have this. 7. No, that didn't work at all. Yeah, this is tough, because I don't know exactly how to do this other than maybe this, and then we... Nope. Swirl this, and then we'll grab that and this. Boom, 200,000? After all that setup, you hit 200,000? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I was expecting, like, more. If I'm being 100% honest, I was expecting more. Like, the thing is, once again, not much out there about DPS Citlali. Like, could I watch someone else's video? Yes. But then it kind of just ends up being like, why would I make my own video if I'm just gonna regurgitate what someone else said in their own, like, their video? Like, why would I? So I don't really watch people's videos, but like, I don't really see this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really see it. Like, it doesn't help that there's not really many catalysts that I have built. Like, this may end up being good because, I mean, like, you know, attack increased by 120, you know, and then you get 96 elemental damage or something, and then elemental mastery 480. Like, that could all be good. That could be very, very good. But, like, I feel like the Wizith is probably, like, her best DPS weapon. You just have to, I guess, you don't really have to get lucky, but you have to, like, actually figure out which one would work. And, yeah, that's not really great. 'Cause, yeah, the Wizith would definitely be a lot better, but I don't really see it being great. Yeah, I mean, like, with this build, she should be doing better. Like, this is C2 Shielding, you know, we've got basically all the buffs active to make this character do damage. She just isn't. There are ways, I'm sure of, that you would be able to get her to do damage, but when you can't really build a character and have her do damage enough, like, this doesn't inspire confidence, if I'm being honest. Like, this isn't, like, crazy, if I'm being honest. Like, it's kind of just like a, I won't ever do this again. Like, I was like, this video was like a test for me to see like, oh, could I possibly like build Citlali on like Codex and like give her, you know, damage bonuses and stuff, like, you know, like Sheelanin, Scroll, Cinder City, like the buffs that she had active. She had Sucrose's EM buff. She had, you know, Sheelanin with the Scroll. She had, you know, Sucrose giving her extra EM along with damage bonus, along with, well, actually, didn't she get damage bonus? Because I'm pretty sure in order to give the damage bonus, you need to get with this. Yeah, that is that. Okay, yeah, in order to get the damage bonus, you need to swirl with the burst, which doesn't really happen, and we needed to swirl it with the pyro aura and stuff. Like, it wasn't really great, but she had the 40% rise shred from Viridescent, right? Like, there was a lot of stuff that went on there that was buffing Citlali, and she still only ended up doing 200,000. What I was really looking for is Citlali doing damage on a team that's not centered around her. So that way, you know, maybe, oh, you go ahead and you build her this certain way, and she does more damage than if you were to build her in a buffing sort of state. But very clearly to me, if you just put her on Instructor, the amount of damage Mavuika does with Instructor active trumps the amount of damage Citlali is giving. With just the initial burst hit, I am very confident that Mavuika makes up for all the damage that, you know, Citlali is gaining from building her this way. So overall, not really a big fan. I'll probably just keep building her as a support build, which is kind of what she's built for, but, you know, I did kind of want to test it out because she does have quite high scaling on her EQ skill, right? Even for attack percent, I mean, it's 860%, right? Like, there is a world where you build this as, like, full-on attack percent Citlali, and you don't really, like, the only reason you go ahead and you give her some EM is because of this. You get 1200% scaling on the EM. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't have the resources, I think, to actually build her and towards a sort of DPS playstyle that would be workable for her, I would say. I don't think that it would be, like, because even if I did give her, like, the Widzith, right? We say the Widzith is, like, what I give her. She gets a level 90 Widzith. You got the crit damage on. You got all this, you know, stuff active, right? You get, let's say you get the 480 Elemental Mastery. That's going to be really cool until it's not really that cool, and, like, she still is being better used on, you know, instructors for Mavuika, because Mavuika does that much damage, right? So it's kind of hard to say, like, to use Citlali in this way. I've seen, you know, screenshots of, like, oh, it did 1 million damage on Citlali's burst. However, I don't think that's going to be 1 million damage consistently, like, you know, without any issues. Like, you're going to have to, like, build her in a certain way. Now, if she was doing, like, 500,000 damage in this video, my tone would be a lot different, right? I think 500,000 damage, very, very strong. However, even with as many buffs as I gave her, she still only hit, like, 180 and then 200 when she got the buffs, right? It's not really something I'm looking at very highly. And I don't think I would go ahead and do it again. Yeah, I just don't see this as something that's great. I'm going to go ahead and give Kazuha's artifacts back. I'm going to give, you know, Citlali her instructor set back. Overall, I do not recommend this unless you have, like, maybe her signature weapon. Her signature weapon would help out a lot. That is one thing. I don't have, like, you know, Kagura's, no, not Kagura. It's Nahida's weapon. I don't have Nahida's weapon and stuff. So I'm not able to, like, you know, oh yeah, here's, like, this one weapon that I use that, you know, will help out the team's damage, and then, you know, you'll get, like, 300 elemental mastery from it. Like, I don't have that kind of weapon, right? That's not an option for me. I say, you know, if you have that as an option, it's very plausible that, you know, that could be good for you. It could be very much so better for you overall to build her as a sort of DPS style like that. However, for me, it doesn't really feel like that. I think it's probably just going to be better to go ahead, put her on instructor, give her all the artifacts that she needs, right? So yeah, from my account at least, I can say that I probably am not going to be building, you know, a Citlali that's supposed to be to do damage anytime soon. I mean, my Citlali, I'm trying to get a proper piece for this piece, but, you know, we got the crit rate there, we got the attack percent, or not the attack percent, we got the, you know, 4-star stats. I want to wait till I get a 3 substat one until I, you know, use it. But other than that, I mean, this build hits 50,000 damage sometimes, 30% of the time here. It hits 50,000 damage, 58,000, I think it is. So yeah, that's my normal. sort of damage. If I could just get this up to like 50%, I really don't see an advantage to going for Citlali doing extra damage, because sure, it'll be more consistent, but you're also going to be losing out more damage with Mavuika, right? So that's overall, I'm going to have to just pass on it. I think it mainly comes down to her weapon, because only being able to use sacrificial fragments, especially at level 80, is like, it's an issue, right? I can't do anything about it, right? Like currently right now, I can't do anything about it, because I mean, I'm pretty sure I can't do anything about it. Hold on, let me check. I mean, it's only level 80, but it's not really going to be, yeah, domain not available. And if I go to Wasnt, I do need to raise Wasnt, because I don't personally like Wasnt because it's RNG based, so I never really cared for it as a weapon. But we could go ahead and at least test it, right? I will get to raising Wasnt eventually. I'll raise Wasnt today. I'll look into it. Don't worry. I will get into raising Wasnt today, but that will be what I use my resin for today. I don't think it's going to make enough of a damage difference for me to care about it. It would have to make a 300,000 damage difference, and I just don't think the Wasnt is going to do that. So I'll raise it, you know, after this video. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all I have to really say about DPS Citlali. Just not really good, at least on my account. I'm not going to like completely say it's going to be bad or not worth doing for everyone, because I feel like there are probably some people who either, I mean, my Mavuika, she's C1 or not C1, R1, right? She has her weapon. Maybe your Mavuika doesn't have her weapon. That's going to lower the value of buffing Mavuika and increase the value of possibly buffing Citlali, right? Let's say you have her weapon, right? You got 300 elemental mastery from her weapon. Give her some, you know, decent artifacts, right? She could do some damage. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, never do this again. But yeah, you guys feel free to test on your own accounts and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you did enjoy. If you really enjoyed, feel free to become a member. We're gonna have member exclusive videos very soon. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.